Welcome back to my channel and welcome to part 25 of coloring Snow White and 7 Dwarfs. I'm still kind of on a weird screen, but we're good. Let's start with what we did. In case you did that part, I feel like I could add some depth to that, but I want to do everything around that before I make a decision. So I was debating what I was going to do, and I feel like we're going that way. So that means the camera is coming that way as well. Let's see if I can do that without. Is that sort of doable for me? Yes. Let's see if we can get the lights well. Alright, I drew in a little bit of a root over there. That is already there, and I might want to get rid of the lines. And last time, I think I concluded that I want to try that with Posca. But I also figured that, you know, the Posca really works over here and there, and that really worked, but I did put pencil down first, so I'll just do that over here as well. I'm just going to start with that one. Yeah, we can get that both on the screen. Because I feel like I should sort of pick blocks of things we can do, and I feel like at least that top part, and whether we're then going to do the wall, or it really kind of depends on the time that we have. But I'm just going to start with those roots, because I'm seeing something, I don't know if it's really black or really brown, but I somehow feel like going into very dark browns isn't really going to make much of a difference. Although that dark sepia might be better than black. And put my phone on the charger while I'm at it. Alright. So it's basically just dark underneath. Whoa. My foot doesn't seem to be as annoying as it was anymore. That's good. So that's getting better. Actually went grocery shopping. Figured that's like a safe thing to do. Because again, the supermarket is like 2 minutes from my house walking, so. Alright. I may have gone a bit white on it, but alright, now I did sort of pre-select my colors. So I have that walnut, no, the burnt sienna. So I'm going to go in really light on that left side because there seems to be some color over here. Just not a whole lot. So just really, really light. I'll just drag that across the bottom. I'm not sure if I want to instantly go into this one. I might though, because on that side it seems to be that same color, and I feel like that instantly takes care of that line over there. So that's good, and kind of the same over here. Right. And I'll just add that to it. And it's so freakishly warm. There's also kind of a line over here. I'll just blop that in like that. Alright, so then I picked 2, I think, Naples yellows, because this is dark Naples ochre, and I have the light yellow, I think. Yes, so the 183 and the 184, because I felt like the 185 is too bright. So just start with that darker one. I really think this is like the boring part though, all these stones. Wouldn't call them fun. I'm really happy that my kind of promised or predicted upload schedule is still going strong. Though I do have to stay up late sometimes to actually get that done, but I am getting it done, so I am really happy about that. Alright, so now we're going into that, well, the lighter one, so that 184. I feel like that should be it. I might want to top it off with a cream, maybe? Or, well, in this case, an ivory. Whoop. I can hear my point go, but I can still use it. Now over here, the line indeed might be a bit of a problem, but if we are going in with the ivory, it might not be a problem, because I might do that with the Posca over here. So over there, I'm just gonna find the ivory. So if you are going with the Pablos, then that would be the cream. Let's just say we're to call it off-white. Right now it looks kind of weird, but I feel like those are the right colors. Now for that back part, now, I did grab burnt sienna, but that is probably not for that. I had the, I'm pretty sure, yes, the sanguine ready. But I might put a little bit of that burnt sienna underneath, just in the darker areas. Kind of late here at the moment. I just figured that would be easier, less noisy. This, by the way, is me just going for that theory. You're holding it, use it. Kind of get me started on the rest of the wall. Alright, this is the Sanguine 188. Everything nicely pre-sharpened, because I had to sort of tidy up. One big pencil explosion here again. And I figured it would be smart to keep them lying around for that, because it kind of went into the same colors. And I guess we are still sort of in the same colors. But I don't know. It was just too messy. Oh, I also fixed my chair. It's like the entire right side of it kind of came loose. So if the previous part would have lasted just a little longer, that would have been interesting. Could have been interesting. Not sure it really would have been. Maybe I would have gotten lucky. Could sabotage my chair just to see what would have happened, but somehow I am not really, well, looking forward to that. Alright, so I also grabbed, are we still seeing that part? Because I noticed last time I did again go off screen with one of the gems, or well, sort of almost. Is that the Terra? Yes. So, I mean, I get so annoyed when I see myself do that, especially in editing, because there's nothing I can do about it then. It's like too late. By then, it is too late. I was like yelling at the screen like, oh my god, please let me notice, but, oh well. Wasn't all that much, and, you know, I was actually saying what I was doing, so I figured, you know, I'll just leave it in. Because I am describing what I'm doing, it's just, it's kind of like you could see it, but you couldn't. It's a bit of a debatable situation. But if you have seen the last part, then you know I left it in, because I figured, you know, I was actually kind of talking people through what I was doing, and kind of hoping that would be enough. I mean, with the shoe, that was with Doc. I actually did end up taking things out a little bit because I kind of went quiet and colored. Bring it back to sanguine. So it was kind of like you couldn't see anything and you couldn't hear anything, so I just kind of figured I would just cut that out. All right. I do feel like it's like too orangey, which makes sense because they both kind of are. It's just, what am I going to use to counterbalance? I had that nougat ready, which I might actually have to switch because I was having trouble putting this in the sharpener, because at some point you just, well, it becomes an argument. I notice that it's usually around, for me it's around 2.5 centimeters, and then they're kind of just done. Now, I don't know, I mean, I'm sure there's ways to use them up even further, but honestly, I mean, some people would already consider this done, so hey, I am doing pretty good. I mean, the extender is still kind of bad, but I mean, it's holding it. It's not necessarily comfortable, but it's more comfortable than actually holding a very tiny pencil. And they came in a bundle, like I literally have 20 of them. So some of them just kind of fall apart when you look at them. But that's okay, I mean, I have plenty. I mean, some of them, if half of them work, then I have 10 extenders. I mean, right now I have this one in, this one. And this is why I did it. So I don't have to switch them the whole time. That is really what I went for. I still feel like the color is a bit, The last time we kind of figured that we needed pink. Although over there we went extreme with the pinks. So I feel like maybe I should go in soft with light flesh or coral. Or no, beige, red, well, 132. Which is a pain to sharpen, so I'm just gonna grab yet another extender. And this one isn't necessarily short, but I don't know, I like to rest something over there. I mean, you don't have to use extenders and whatnot. Feel free to discard your pencils whenever you feel like it. But, you know, not everyone has a lot of money lying around or is prepared to spend, or, you know, whatever. Some of us prefer to be very economical about things. So, you know, extenders, just look into them. Now, my set actually came with these and these wooden ones. So if you are looking for them, that's what I'm using. Alright. I feel like I should draw in some lines over here. Did I just go off screen again? Alright, so this line is, can we see that? We can't see that, but there's like a sort of swirl going on. So it goes in and then it kind of swirls or something. Doesn't really matter. I mean, it's going to be dark, so I don't have to get rid of that. Any more drawing around here? I mean, there is that green. So it kind of really goes up till there, and then there should be something here, which I'm kind of just completely missing. So I'll just blobble. And then for now, that should be okay, I feel. I mean, over here, it kind of just, it flows. So that kind of just flows into it, so I'm good. Now, I'm hoping that I used this, the 267, the 278, and the 266. I think I did. Probably the permanent olive as well. Permanent green olive 167. I mean, it seems to be the colors anyways. So that I don't forget that this was supposed to be rosy. Probably add some blue in there as well. I'll just scribble a bit. It is plants. So leaves are a bit of an organic thing, so I guess you can't really go wrong with your lines. You just kind of put them where you want. I do. All right, then we had that wine green, which, yeah, I feel like the point is acceptable. And into that permanent green olive. That one probably not so much. Yeah, well, I might want to add a lighter one. So not the 266, but I feel, what is that, 170 or 168? 168. So that's like the lighter version of that. Let's just put that in. And I feel like it's all part of the flowers again. I feel like I went over that. So I'm gonna grab that dark one once again. Just put some swirls in there. All right, I feel like that's good enough. Yeah, that does look better. Because actually for that green, which I might as well just start putting in right now, I get one of the Yuki greens. It was the 119 olive black. So let's just get that sheet. So that's that one, which I felt like I didn't really have in the polys. This would be closest, but the Pablo greens have a bit of a, well, gray in it. I mean, again, I bought the sets so they could complement each other, and this really shows that they do. Although I might want to add some of the poly green too to kind of create a nice transition with the roses. It actually goes on quite far. I drew that over there, so I'll just go light. So I'll get that pine green to merge, sort of. Because I feel like that transition is too harsh. Alright, something is making a weird noise here. Hope it's not actually the stand for my, well, phone camera. It would be the first time when I kind of had to catch the camera in the middle. That has happened. Not on this, but I think it was actually the one that I still have to upload. Kind of gave this a priority. So I had other things lying around. I just never really got to them. Wow, I wonder what was in my eye, but that was actually part of the clamp holding the phone. I'm still looking for a new phone. I think it will be interesting to get like another kind of corner to look from. All right, I feel like it's some sort of grayish, but so far I ended up with adding beige to the wall. I do feel like the light beige, I could get some grays in there, but these grays are just, they're not alive. They're so cold. So I might, maybe. So I feel like if I would go for a gray, then the warm gray 3 would be my best option, but that is pretty much the light beige. So I'll stick to what I have known for now to be working well for this. That really seems to be the collection of the beiges. And there is something light. Oh, I do have everything. Why don't you just keep it here? So it's light. I'm not sure if I should just go for that light flesh or maybe something else, because if I would go for this, then I'd probably end up with granite rose, which is pretty similar. I feel like it's a color that I do not have. I do not have it. So I'll just go for light flesh. That little brown thing I'm going to do first. Because if I don't, then I'll probably make it hard on myself to put it in later. I feel like burnt sienna with something. There is something else going on, but I just can't put my finger on it. And just see how it goes. And I have no idea how far we're going to get. I think the last one was nice and short, but I don't think I could have really done anything more. Not at that stage anyways, because then if you do start something else, it'll just take too long, and that's kind of the problem. Alright, now I feel maybe I should just go over that with light beige. Is that it? No, I need beige. I feel like I'm going way too light and friendly on this part, but oh, it looks nice though. I'll just stick with this. Just I feel like I'm missing some lines or details. There's a bit of a harsh line going in there, where mine kind of flows too much. It's got to be a little bit more of a harsh line. See if I can still create that. And then it's like a little darker at the top. I'll just, did I grab some sort of brown, some darker brown. Oh my God, chair. That was just the back of the chair just kind of collapsed. Well, the point is, what's that? Oh, an interesting point, but I feel like I can make that work to just put in that little, well, it's not a line, but it is something that kind of makes it look like it has more depth to it. I guess that's sort of the bad thing about this wall being so in front. You do it wrong and you're gonna notice, really notice. Also grabbed a bit of bluish gray, which I instantly broke the point off. Just to kind of create the feeling that there is blue, so it's not really, I'm not really applying any pressure. I'm just trying to go over that and hope some of the pigment sticks to the paper. I think like it looks weird, but once we have that front thing done, we should be okay. I mostly grab the blue because there's more blue blobs in there, especially over here. There's just a bluey thing going on. And there's bits and pieces over here as well. Just put them in some random places and hope for the best. I mean, so far I do feel like the page, it's turning out nice. It's taking me forever, but oh well. That's already sort of a thing now. Indian red, which lucky for me has a workable point. Because I feel like I just want to add some color here. I feel like that burnt sienna just wasn't quite doing it. This does create, like, you can instantly see that it's different. There's a little something over here as well. Just put that on top of that line mostly. All right. Now that green kind of continues underneath as well. So I'm not sure how I'm gonna approach that. I feel like I should draw that in though, because it's really there. Like over here. I think it starts roughly around here. Kind of swirls into there. Kind of want to do this right in one go. Kind of looks like it belongs there. And so it kind of continues in there. All right, well, that's good. I'll just use the olive black. There isn't like a line going there, so that one is there. Can we see what I'm pointing at? Sorta. There is a little bit of a line, but just blop that green in. Because in the reference, it's kind of like, is it moss or is it part of the roses? So I'll just put it in like that so that I know that it's there. Right, now this still needs something. I feel like I should get that, some dark in there. Usually that brings stuff to life a little better. Because with these shimmers, it's just all dark. So if I just do a little bit of a light layer. I'm going to try and go around that shimmer as much as possible, even though I will, of course, end up doing that with a Posca. But it would be nice if I could still see the lines. It would also be nice if the camera can still see the lines. Oh, we're going into purples again. I'm not sure what this is. I mean, this is not going to be the permanent, well, position of these shadows, I think. But I just want to put them in there to kind of, no, it should give some context to everything around it. And so far I've really been struggling with these rocks though. Now this is kind of like going over that line rather thickly. So I'm not just covering the line, I'm also kind of going next to the line. By now you can't really see what I'm pointing at, but I think it makes sense. There's not much debate on what this could be on the reference, I think. Now I don't want to go down too far, I was just kind of creating context. Alright, now I'm gonna need a form of purple. I grabbed a light magenta, which is, where are you? All right, it's right here. So it's like a faded purpley kind of pink. I don't know why though. Let me just figure out where that came from. Probably over here, because there is, that point is, well, it's a nice demo on how well these pencils hold a point. Because when we go down on that wall, it actually turns into a very convincing kind of purple. So I notice what's going on here. It's kind of like that line continues into the roses. So I'll just do that. That'll have to do. All right, so let's just finish that top part first. Should convincingly put in some of that light pink. Before kind of merging it into everything else, which we were doing with the beiges, which light beige. It's like already 30 minutes in just for this little area. So, you know, on the one end, you know, I want to put up videos where we get a lot of things done, but on the other, you know, they got to be done right. And also I'm having trouble kind of processing bigger videos, because I'm doing that on my phone, because my laptop is kind of like process a video. What? I do feel like it's sort of, well, it looks weird now, but maybe not even in a bad way. Though that blue is a little bit too blue, which I think I can fade out with that nougat. Did I actually mention that that was the nougat, or did I just start using it without mentioning it? Guess I'll have to, I will find out. Maybe in editing I've been frustrated this whole time, you know, trying to figure out what is it? So I might as well just write it down right now. Alright, so I am going to try and go down and see how far we get. I mean, it is mostly the same colors, but there is again some purple. Now, I could go for red violet. Up until now, I've been using, I think, purple violet, which I feel is just good. So purple violet would equal absolutely nothing. All right. Purple violet it is. That's mostly that area. And behind that shovel, but I'm not sure I want to touch the shovel. I'm just gonna, because if I don't go around it enough, then I might be touching it, and I might have to color that too. Just like way different colors. So I mean, coloring the page is not the problem, but kind of like chopping it up into bite-sized pieces. Especially down here, I feel it's a bit of a problem, but I mean, there's some shadow coming off of that. So, like right here. This is the dark sepia, by the way. I have not used black just yet. I will go into black, I'm pretty sure of that. I just wanted to switch it up for a little bit. Which is silly because this part of the wall is kind of dark. Alright, double checking screen because we are going down. I just move that a little bit so that I know that I'm on screen. And so over here is just, this is definitely going to be black. Because that top part kind of looks sort of finished. I feel like I can judge that a lot better if I actually done the rest of it. Oh my god, this is drawing. So much drawing. Oh no, I think it was the last one where I compared, no, well, one of the previous ones. I actually compared this one to Mickey and Minnie on the front page, and I could definitely see a difference. Not in a bad way. So I'm taking longer, but I'm liking the result a lot better. And I mean, in the end, that is kind of what it's mostly about, right? I do want to create something usable for viewers so that you can actually color along. But I also want to create something that I am happy with, because, you know, it's my page too. I'm not just doing this for YouTube. Just figured, you know, I'm going to be doing it anyway, so I might as well just record it. Normally I don't talk this much while coloring. Although there might be something good about that too, kind of makes you think about what you're actually doing. Well, so far I haven't had any questions yet, so I guess that is a good thing. I'll just take it as a good thing. I choose to be an optimist. I do keep an eye out on that. Like I have this gut feeling that there is actually at least one person coloring along. That would be great though. And I'm actually trying to set up a Facebook page as well. So maybe I can link to that in my latest video so that if you are coloring along, you can kind of post your result there. I'd love to see that. Or, you know, just your interpretation of the page. Or I'll just make myself available for questions there too. Because one of the good things about, I guess, Facebook is that, you know, you can also add a picture to a question. I haven't really tried that on YouTube. Alright, so let's just go for the dark bits first, because we're holding it, we're using it. That's kind of how I normally color. So normally I don't really go from one side of the page and pick a direction. It's kind of like when I'm doing leaves or something, I just look like, well, are there any other leaves that I could kind of use this color on? So normally I'd be all over the page. This is different, of course. I feel like I should have some order. That line isn't really there, but I feel like I should definitely get that corner done, for sure. Or maybe I could just do a light layer, see what the timer is going to do, and make it a short video. Or, well, average length. Because again, I had a video which was actually a bit long and I almost could not save it. Kind of got me into trouble. And that would basically mean that I would have to chop it up and use another program. And anyway, I should just get a better laptop. So there's a light thing right next to that. It's just, yes, I do not eat you. Go away. So there's something, there's the shadow. That's definitely there. And then there's something light, and then we kind of continue into dark. So kind of like a lighter bit and then back into dark. It kind of goes up. No idea why, but it does. And it goes up from here. And that kind of looks okay. Then we have this, so there's something light going on. We have that is that. And sort of from here goes a little thingy into there and then comes down like that. And this is roughly it. No more surprises here. And there's a line. That is what? Yes, I do not have that line. Problem. Alright, so that line. Stop it, phone. Last time I put him on airplane mode. Should have probably done that again. Alright, so there's something going up here. And this takes forever. But once you get this done, you're good to go. It's just silly that it took me a while to realize that this is actually all, well, basically drawing. On other pages I didn't have it as much because you kind of go from one color into another. Like you have a leaf. Let's just pretend that the shovel is a leaf. You'd kind of go from light to dark. And that's simple, but this is something else. Alright, so there's something light going on around there, so just sort of put some pressure and draw me a circle. It kind of goes here as well. Alright. How far up does this go? So over here is kind of darker. It doesn't have to be a perfect match, but it should be a somewhat match. Could very well be that we just get to the shading part and I just decide that, you know, time-wise that's already ridiculous. Dark over here. Alright, that is that. That is that. And just I want to get that part done, so I might just want to make sure that I have my shading kind of right over here. That is his ear, so we're not coloring that. Not with this color anyways. Right. So we did kind of stop the green here, and I feel like that's okay. And I could continue, and feel free to do that on your page, but I feel like I'm kind of done drawing for now. Wouldn't look bad actually to make this dark. Would make it easier to push it. Wow. Right. Well, that's basically what I did. I'm just gonna go straight into that. Because I was debating whether or not I should continue the roses, but I feel like if we actually make that part of that wall, it will be easier to push it to that background. And well, over here I didn't really do much because that dark line I think was already there. Do we get that little bit? Well, I'm going into that right now. I guess that's the problem of zooming in enough so you get everything on the screen, and then you're kind of too zoomed in to actually get everything on the screen. I think I caught it pretty fast this time. I mean, it's weird because I can get the whole thing just there. So focused on getting that reference in too, just to stop doing that, I think. Alright, so these shimmers are white, but that one is pink. So I'm going to just leave everything around that alone for now. But I really have to check the timer too to make sure that I can actually save them and upload them, because I already had a few videos where I actually had to compromise on the video quality when saving. And I don't think it was really bad, but I don't know. Wasn't happy about that. I'm just a tiny channel and whatnot, but I am the kind of person who, when I do something, I want to do it right. So I would just prefer everything to be in the same quality. Alright, now this part was really the issue. I might just do that little gem thing though. Maybe you can actually notice that it doesn't feel a lot different than kind of grayscaling it with a black pencil. It's kind of the same thing. Feels like that to me anyways. I feel like I should just start going into those details, because that, okay, right, so I'm just gonna double check. We have that, which is basically just a purple kind of blob. But I have my rules of colors. All right, purple violet, we got that. I have like that rule of 3, so I'm gonna get more colors. I'm gonna get a light purple. I'm not sure why, but I am. And then we need something. Do we need something darker? I'm gonna go for carmine. Is that this? This is the carmine. Yes. Is it? I love everything being in gold, so I cannot read it. Alright. So just I mean, over there it's just the same color blob, but we can do better. We can create a 3D gem here. We can do that with the carmine. I mean, it doesn't look like there's a lot of shading and everything in my version, but it just, I don't know, it gives like a different feel to it. Or at least, that's my theory. I feel like that is all done. Well, that was the quickest gem we did so far. Now we have that other one, which is going to be really complicated. Mahogany. Is that this? This is the Bordeaux. Do we need that? Probably not. Mahogany. Do I need the Bordeaux? Because that is probably going to be my lightest color. Into a lot of browns. So I need a very dark brown. So either the Beaster or... Am I going to go for that? Or because it needs to be I feel like that one is too grayish, and this one is more to the brown side, so I'll go for that. The Van Dyke Brown 176. Now we need something light. Yeah, burnt sienna. I would say burnt sienna for those little dotties in there. Yeah, I'll just do that. Weird combination of colors. There's a little white splash, but alright, I'll just go in with the mahogany because I think I named that as the light color. Was it? Did I name that as the light color? I'm not using the mahogany, I think. I think I need something slightly lighter. Do I need it slightly lighter or just... sanguine? Yes. Why not? Because that's like somewhere in the middle. There's like a light spot, which I'm going to go over with that burnt sienna. Checking my screen again. I feel so silly going off screen. I mean, on the one hand, of course I'm here to do that color in chat, color on long thing. But on the other, you know, I'm so focused on the page as well that, well, clearly that's a bit of a conflict every now and then. Get used to it. I'll get better. And that is the Van Dyke Brown, which has a awkward point. I am the channel with the awkward points. Weird brown gem. Makes it interesting though. Did not have everything in, well, call them logical colors. When you say the word gem, and I do definitely not think of brownish kind of weirdness. But here it is. I feel like this is good enough though. Doesn't look as brown on camera, but again, those are the lights. But it is somewhat dark. I think I might go a little darker by doing that. Going over that with the sepia, which it is the darkest brown I have. Mostly over the dark parts though. Yes. I think this will do. Now this is kind of me showing the viewer, but it's also me just checking my screen. Because again, you know, sometimes the screen kind of helps in knowing what to do next. But I feel like that is kind of okay. Now I want to get into that shimmer because that is just colorful. And if I don't get those colors in right now, and I feel like I should do that beforehand. Now they are a very fun kind of pink. I don't know which pink is more fun. I'm definitely gonna redo my swatches. But I feel like for fun pink, I'm gonna go for these. Rose pink. Is that this one? Yes. Rose pink. There's something in there. Rose pink and then something very sweet and nice like salmon. That's 2. Where's my rule of 3? I have that rule. It's just, I don't know, it's my silly preference. So if I use the rose pink and I want to make that even more interesting, I feel like that light purple would actually do the trick. And they all have, well, semi-decent points. So let's just dive straight in. I'm just going to go around it mostly. So much smudginess. Which I feel is actually okay because it's a wall. So I do feel if that pink gets a little dirty, then I'm okay with that. Oh, hello neighbors, or random people, or, well, hello outside world. Because that thing itself is just an interesting color. We had the rose pink. I feel like if I actually go liney over here, then it would be fine. That is not a word though, is it? Liney. But it does make it look shiny because of the shiny liney. Stop it. Alright, and then we had this, which was that light purple, which I feel I shouldn't put in too much, but I'll probably end up going overboard with that as well. Because I mean, I learned from the ones that were up there. Well, I hope I learned from them. Where I kind of decided to do everything with the Posca and then ended up fighting the Posca with a fine liner, and, well, I don't know, I feel like I just do this up front, it'll be smoother. I do want to go over this with something else, which is probably going to be the cream. Not the yellow, but the Pablo cream. To make it all sweet. That's my theory. If I just go over that, then it'll become sweet. Soft and sweet. But I do feel like this last bit of the page, it's a bit of a battle against the clock. Doesn't have to be, but because I feel like it was just easier to kind of do dwarf crates, dwarf bridge, grass. Now it's just such a big area. So I'm mostly going to use the timer. All right, lilac. I haven't used that before. I haven't used that at all. All right, there's blue over there. It's not blue, it's more gray. It's, what is it? Sky blue? Sky blue, wait. All right, so we don't go any lighter. I do want to get that on the screen for now. I mean, I could go jade green, but I feel that my polys might have the answer here. Yes, sky blue. Now, I was mentioning sky blue before and decided that that was not it because this is the sky blue for the Pablos, and if I put the sky blue of the polys over there, then it is a different color. I feel like I need this one. It looks so nice, doesn't it? I don't know if that is just me, but sometimes, you know, you just pick up a color and it just, I don't know, it brings a smile to your face. Wait. Stop it, Dodo. Stop it. You were so used to not having that color that you didn't even think of it. Here we go. Bluish pale. Let's just see what that does, because it's really nice and friendly. Maybe I could just put it over there. Maybe I should combine them. Their combined powers will make the exact right color. Because there's things going on here as well. Can we see that? Yes, we can. Can we? Yes. I'll just move up a bit. Really gonna have to figure out how I'm gonna do that bottom part, but I'll get there. We're not there yet. Was it here or there? I don't know, it's there now. Can't really undo that. Probably had to be more over here. Well, there is a line here, which it's just not corresponding. It's not. There's something over there, which should be over here. Or are we still? Yes. Somehow, you know, you'd think, you know, like you went off screen once, then you'd stop doing it, but I am so focused on the coloring. There seems to be a bit of bluish glow going on around there too. Just put that in a little bit. Just like directly next to it. So that when I go over that with that dark color that I'm going to be using around there, then it'll still kind of be here, I hope. I mean, the light fastness isn't too good, but I'm not sure that says anything about how well it's going to be covered. It just says everything about how long it'll last if you put it in the sun. All right, good enough. I can definitely just put that away. Where's my brushy brush? There's mine. All right, now I'm going to go into that bit because, you know, that is done. So we need to go that way. Stuff is going on there. I have just thrown my swatches everywhere. I don't know why I keep doing that, but we'll get that terracotta in there. And what am I using after that? Beaster or Cocoa? I'll just grab both of them. See how that goes. But there is a little bit of an orangey feeling to it. So just put that in. I'm already not hating it, so that's good. And then it's going to be very dark. So I'll just go with the cocoa in and around that orangey thing that I did. And lightly over that. And then I'm going to go into that beaster. I should probably go something darker, or I don't know. I will see once I get near. Well, I should go darker. Probably into dark sepia. Which could use some sharpening, but well, for this little bit, I feel like I'm okay. I'll just go over that too. So now I grab the black, because I do feel like, I mean, this area really needs to be pushed to the back, because I want to really get Dopey dragged to the front. So the darker it is close to him, the more it'll make him pop to the front, is my current theory. Also, it prevents that line from becoming annoying, so I don't have to white it out. Work smarter, not harder, or something. I mean, the reference kind of is useless at this point. I mean, over here it is kind of really dark. So I'll just add that. my lights are a bit bright. And I just looked up into one of my lights, not as bad as I have done at some point. So I can still see what I'm doing. That is good. I kind of want to go real dark around those flowers as well. And then probably just that dark sepia, which I just agreed I was going to sharpen and then didn't, so that's good. And probably normal sepia because now it just became a black hole. You could just wash that over there. Kind of into that. Alright, so it might be a little bit too dark, but I can bring it back a little maybe by going over that with just the beige. Because over there it's kind of illuminated. So I guess it would be weird if it's completely black. As you see, you can just go over that with a lighter color and it does kind of make it interesting. So now for that part, which I'm just going to keep that black sort of close, because over here I feel like it's definitely black. Could be because that shimmer, of course. And then we have, it's just weird because there's actually sort of darkness near the shimmer. So that shimmer is not really doing its work. Shimmer, you had one job. Shine bright like a diamond. Alright, now underneath those sort of DIY roses, I feel like this is coming together. It's really dark around here as well. That was just me checking the screen, like, are we still there? And I guess going off screen isn't too bad if I catch it in time, so I can still kind of walk through what you missed. On the one hand, I could just pretend that no one cares. Maybe no one does, but what if you are that one person that actually really wants to know? I mean, I promised it to be a color chat, color along thing, so I should try and stick to that as much as possible. So if I do catch it on time, then I can kind of walk people through what they missed because I was not paying attention. But if it's like too much, then I'm kind of hating myself for it. So if you get annoyed by me going off screen, you are not the only one. I'd probably get even more annoyed. Problem is, you can't undo it. You can't go and cut. Let's do that again. I mean, we could, but then I'd be coloring two books at the same time. And well, you already know that we have been here forever, so just imagine if I was actually doing two books, just in case something goes wrong. I feel like this is starting to look very okay, though. And I feel confident promising that if I'm going to do another book and another page, especially one where I get to pick the colors, it'll be way quicker. It will be. Although maybe after this, knowing what I can do with purple, and knowing that you can put pink in wood, and because it is a learning experience for sure. It might just be that I might be taking what I've learned here and applying that to other pages. But I do feel like I could be quicker with other pages. Which is, of course, no help if you don't have those books, but we can't have it all. I do have like books that I also really enjoy, and they also come with like freebies, so I might just go for a freebie on my first one so that everyone can actually join in. It'd be like a nice way to try a book, see if you like it, and I don't know, maybe we can complete a book together, although I have like a series of that, so that might not work for me. If you have my Instagram, then you know what kind of books I'm talking about. Again, I like to stick to the book that I'm coloring in, but I have other books that are more like garden related, and I love that. I mean, I also love gardening, so I love the fact that someone actually made a book about that, and it was a good book. It was like just what I would want from a garden book. So, but I'm not exactly expecting Disney to have a Disney gardening book. I mean, there's plants, so it's totally my cup of tea. I don't color things that I don't want to color. I just don't. So that is why I am a fan of flip throughs. So that when, I have like books like, let's just say an average book has, call it 30 pages. If I don't like at least, I don't know, 15 of them, then I am not buying the book. Because I just feel like that's a bit of a waste. I'm not going to buy a whole coloring book because I like one page in it. I'm just not doing that. To each their own. So if you think, well, I want to get that book because it has one good page in it, do it. Do it, do it, do it. I'm not telling you that you shouldn't. It's just me saying I don't. Just realized how dark this is becoming, but I feel like it's coming to life a bit. My theory of grayscaling with the black, it's turning out okay. And it is just a really dark area, so I might as well just layer everything with black, but keeping some lighter parts in there. I mean, there is something going on here. Well, not there, but alright, stay. And I don't know, Phoenician red feels like it's the right call. Is that this? This is that Phoenician. So that is there. Right next to that. And then around all of that weirdness. Actually, I did some Googling on this page because it was talking about those shimmers that it's from a bigger painting and it actually kind of continues. And it does, there is like a little bit over here that is missing. I also found that this book, like this painting thing, was actually done in 2016. So it was like right there underneath it, like extra info. I was like, wait, this is not an actual Kinkade. It's from Kinkade Studios, but I guess it does say that on the cover. It's still a very fun picture, so yeah. I do not care, I guess. Alright, so this seems good enough. Just sort of blobble my way up here. Make it like smooth. Just see how it's dragging that black around. Of course, that is called blending. Just I'm used to that from my markers because markers seem to pick up the color more and drag it around. But alright, so that purple issue that we had. Now I have that lilac. Kind of annoying to have all these sheets, but alright, so lilac, where are you? Yes. So it actually kind of continues behind this. My foot is still sort of okay. I mean, there's a slight tingle right now, but I guess it's doing better. Just kind of no fun that I still have no idea what it was, though, or is, or because I mean I've had it before, so apparently it's a returning thingy or reoccurring issue. What are we gonna call it? So yeah, I do want to figure out what it is. So yeah, the doctor just going, yeah, you have very healthy feet. Yeah, well, very healthy feet do not hurt randomly. So that mystery still continues. I was right though with the, because they said like 2 to 3 days. I already said, you know, knowing my luck, it'll be after the weekend, and yep. So the universe hates me. Alright, so we have all the purple, and although I feel like down there, it just feels like some form of purple that isn't purple, which actually gives me a feeling like it's either that indigo. Is it indigo? Look at that. I'm getting good at this. I like that. It's either the indigo or because they have the Delft Blue, which is somehow purple. It shouldn't be. Delft Blue should be blue. Way bluer than this. Did they have a Delft Blue? Did they get it right? Wait, they don't have... Is there no Delft Blue on here? How dare they? Is it over here? How dare they not have a Delft Blue? I feel offended. Is it? Am I just looking over it? Or just... Am I missing it? That made no sense. Okay. So, Indigo Blue. At least I didn't misname it. Yeah. So this is a workable point for just sort of bloppy background. I went from being confused from like pink and purple in walls to now going into blue, and it's just a way to stay alert. Alright, a little bit over here. I'll just go up until that thing. I mean, it does make sense to add a few colors in there because it creates some, you know, gives the wall a little bit of character, I guess. Otherwise, it would just be one solid mass. So I guess if you want to make it look somewhat realistic, because I feel like that's what this is. It's kind of in between cartoon and realism, or because I did try to make it look somewhat real. I mean, if you walk past it, you wouldn't think it's real, but someone definitely tried. So around there a little bit as well. I don't know if this is actually going to sort of stick to the page once we go over that with another color, because I feel like we might have to go over there with some bluey kind of gray that might actually work better. And kind of fade into that. I'll just fade some blue in there. Just some faded blue everywhere. Just put that back as I think I don't need it anymore. But actually going for some sort of bluish kind of gray, other than the grayish kind of blue. Because we did that. We did go for bluish kind of, I really need to fix my polys kind of lists. Just make them like this, will be easier to get the longer ones. But so yeah, these grays are all warm and friendly, and these grays are just cold and nasty. What? Just color dodo. Stop talking. All right. So we have a little thingy like there. I should go from there so that if at some point I just decide, no, I don't have time anymore, then I can just make it logical. That is still brown though, very dark brown, which was sepia? Would it be sepia? Or that is actually too light. That would make it the dark sepia. I'll just go dark sepia with sepia on top. Would that make any kind of sense? Because I feel like I'm going all dark and mysterious. And I feel like there's a splash of green. A splash. If only you could splash. Just, which now seems very intense, but I believe that if I go over that now, it'll sort of fade away. And it did. Look at that. It's looking kind of lovely. Alright, now we have that, which is basically just dark. So I'm gonna get that blue back. That indigo blue. Do we need a darker blue? Because this is like dark, but yeah, we'll just put that in there. We'll go over there with something probably very dark browny. Dark browny. I'm just creating new colors. Dark browny. This somehow makes me hungry. I haven't had brownies in forever. Should make some brownies. That usually is the most yummy version. You just make them. I feel like I need something else though. There is like a splash of purple. Now I had that lilac, so I'll just use that. Because right at the bottom, can we see that? We can see that. I'll just move a little bit because I feel like getting this in the screen is probably more interesting than having the reference in the screen. And then from this, we're going to go into that. Can we go? I just feel like I need some gray though. Warm gray, or they are so similar. Do I have anything here? No, go for warm gray. So 275. There's already so many colors in here, so top that off with the normal sepia. Which probably on the camera isn't even showing up. Or is it? Yeah, it's not really doing much. Let's just move this. Yeah. Guess so. I could say you're just gonna have to trust me, but I sound a bit weird and I act a bit crazy, so I better just show people, because you can't see. I mean, I can. Alright, no, you sort of can. Can I find a position in which you can see? No, I can't. I'm just going to quit because, you know, meanwhile, I'm just spending 15 minutes trying to show people on camera something that is not showing up on camera. So, we've done that. What was that? All right. So, we've done that. So, now we're going into that, which again has a purple glow. Although that purple glow is not so purple, so I'm just going to go for that lilac again. I do feel like we can actually get this wall done. I hope so. Is this the lilac? This is the lilac. I do feel like we can get it done. Might just leave this shimmers for next time. Because again, you know, I would make longer videos, but I can't process them. Or I could, and then I have to leave all the noises and the pencil sharpening and the everything just in. And one of these days, I'll find the perfect way. And so, dark sepia again, which now definitely needs some sharpening. It's looking like a rainbow. That is good. We have now learned that that is good, because that looked scary, and I still love how that turned out. It's not a one-on-one with the reference, but I just do love it. Is there something light over here, or just no? Just no, it's just not. It's a page full of darkness. And if you have it, just play some Simon and Garfunkel, I think it is, on the back. Alright, now into that sepia. I feel like I don't have to make it too interesting by trying to merge 20 colors into each other. Can't really see what I'm doing because of the light, so that is annoying. Can't really go wrong around these stars though, because I'll probably be doing that with Posca and sort of masking any mistakes. Although I do want to keep that little bit of blue that I did earlier. And I'm going to get in that black, which is going to need a point. Because I'm going to go in here and create a little bit of a shadow. And I'll grab that sepia and just go over it. A little bit. Yes. It looks nice. What is... Alright, so that's supposed to be there. I feel like that looks good. Let me just double check. Because I feel like there's a little bit of graininess over there, which doesn't have to be a bad thing, but you know, picky. Get rid of graininess. I do not want to see any paper. It's my thing. Alright, into the next rock, which is already more blue than it is anything else. So that was that indigo. I'll just grab some blue. So I probably have to go into these really cool, cold grays over here. I feel like I should probably do this bit first, which is purple. Why did I just blop in blue? Well, because you're not paying attention, that's why. It doesn't really matter. I can still go over that, and over it, and over it, and over it. I mean, it's not as smooth, but you can still go over it. I mean, of course, I can't go white on this. If I now decide that that has to be bright purple or Lovely pink. Yeah, that is not happening, but I can still kind of adjust it. So little mistakes, those can be ignored. Now this is supposed to be a little more scribbly, because it is in the reference. I'm just gonna sort of go down, and then I'm gonna go create some kind of curvature. Oh crap, did not want to do that. Pay attention. Right. So kind of create a little bit of a non-straight line, because it's not in reference either. It was kind of like a, yeah, I don't know, it's not even there. In the reference, it's hardly even there. So these lines are really not corresponding. So I guess the trick is just to make it look organic. There's something going on here though. I mean, this is basically just a very dark area. This is, by the way, the black I'm using, because it's just ridiculously dark over here. All right, now that is definitely going to be black. I'm not even going to pretend like it's anything else. I already put down that dark sepia. And then there is a thingy, which I now have. I now have a thingy. And a thingy. And then it kind of goes lighter as we go. So over here is still kind of dark, and then it kind of goes lighter. I want to stay in that really black near those roses, or well, those are just leaves, but considering the rest is roses, I'm thinking that's part of the roses. All right, into that very dark purple, because I feel like this needs a little purple touch, because apparently there's purple everywhere. So if you think like I'm using too much purple, then probably use some more. How many times I've wondered on this page, like, purple? Really? Again? Purple? So there's no such thing as too much purple, which is funny because it was a color that I normally don't really use. So that's interesting. I might have to order some new purples after this. Might have gone a little bit too dark here, but okay. Let's just add some of that dark near the black to kind of make that shadow fade. So there's Don't Fall. There's some, yeah. I'll go for beige, I think. Was that this? That is the beige. I feel like that would already be pretty accurate. I mean, of course, it still needs more purple. You can never have too much purple. But this kind of gives a gray feeling to everything. Get rid of that rainbow feel. And around that, we're just going to go a light. I hope this is the light beige, yes. because around that shine was a bit of a circle, so I just put that in. Makes sense because it's a shimmer, so there should be light around there. All right, now that kind of has to go into an interesting kind of cold brown with, of course, purple. Do we have most of that black done? I was going to fade that into whatever the color is going to be, but I'm just using that dark sepia to kind of fade out of that black. Because we have a little over here as well. That is this part. It kind of just faded out. Because over here there shouldn't even be that line, but that line is here, so I'm just figuring out how to solve or fix or, well, figuring stuff out. That'll be the gist of it. And so this line is actually darky dark. Is it darky dark or dorky dark? Dorky darky darky dork. Stop talking. I guess it took a little time for me to reach that weird point again. I mean, wow. Any year for editing? Because, again, you know, I have to listen to myself too. So, I do feel for you. I do feel for the viewer actually trying to make sense of what I'm saying. I am sometimes doing the exact same thing. I do feel like we're, yeah, I mean, I kind of said that I would complete it, and I might actually get there. Purpley kind of the cocoa. Where is the cocoa? Was that this? This is the cocoa. Because I actually feel like I don't really need anything other than cocoa. I mean, on the one hand, I think, like, you know, oh, I still have that, and it's going to take forever. But on the other, I already have that rainbow stage out of the way, so it might not take forever. We might actually almost be there. Because, I mean, the rest of it is just kind of the same. Ooh, this one is so creamy. It's totally getting rid of all kinds of lines that I put in earlier. I'm liking this color though. Gonna put some black underneath that thing. Wow, my phone is like cooking right now. That's not good. Alright, so this line kind of has to become a line again. Which I'm not going to be doing with this. I mean, the line isn't there in the reference. So that's kind of sucky. And of course, there my stomach goes again. I actually overate this time. It's impossible. I'm a grumpy stomach kind of person. Can I just get this out of the way? Wow, would you just... Yes. That looks better. For the camera. This is kind of the same sort of color that we're going into. There's something dark going on for some reason, right underneath that shimmer. Just probably because they did the wall first and then painted over, I think. I don't know. I'll just leave a few spots open, like over here. There should be something light, which I'm just going to grab that beige because there's so many darker colors underneath already. And if I would grab that light beige, then it would probably go way too dark. Or way too light. Or, yeah. What? Well, okay. I was making a point, but I totally lost it myself. I really want to focus. Becoming so focused that I'm not focused. I am getting that whole weird blue vibe thing though. That is good. But yeah, I want to go for a beige. Because there's a lot of dark underneath, but I feel like if I go too light, it might become too bright. Because I made that mistake before. I'm just going to grab that sepia to sort of randomly put in here and there. Because now it's just one big mass of cocoa. Which it shouldn't be, but I am really struggling with these stones though. It's interesting. So we have this part. Should be closer. Let's just get that brown in there. Well, sepia, but it's more brown than what I have done around it. Back to cocoa. I feel like it's kind of okay though. I might need some. Does it need some tuning up? Can I just. It does look okay. And over here it's really bright. We're not there yet. We'll just keep going with the cocoa. The cocoa seems to be working pretty darn good. You know, these shimmers don't seem to have a little bit, they don't have that shine around them, not like that one did. So I'm just continuing with the cocoa. Because I already did that sort of grayscaling underneath, it's going down rather smooth and in, well, multiple colors. And I'm not going straight to the top because there is still a little bit of purple to be added. Which is probably going to be that purple violet. Which is, yeah, that is sort of there. And then it's like really dark. Especially over here, and there was like that curve in there. So I'll just put that in there. And then there was a bit of a line going that way. It's funny how I just started doing little bits because I wanted to give that a little bit of context and texture, and before you know it, I'm coloring the whole thing. But that's how it works. That is just how it goes. I get easily distracted, which, yeah, you haven't noticed. Nah, you haven't. And if you have, then you're probably not bothered by it. Maybe that's a recognizable thing as well. Relatable. Alright, I have that green. I'm just gonna go in that for a little bit before I forget. Just really dark. It's mostly just very dark. I feel like this is kind of okay though. Looks like a bush. And then we're gonna go into that yucky green. black olive top of my hat that we used earlier. Does it go in there? It does go in there a little bit. This feels about right. That is olive black. Well, I said black olive is olive black. Close enough. Dark sepia. I don't know, for some reason I'm now naming everything. Yeah, I said I would, and then I forgot to do it, and now I'm back to doing it. Guess it just works like that. I'm gonna sort of leave that, I think. There's a thingy over here. I feel like I should just use that shovel as sort of a separation line. We are getting somewhere. I don't need black over here because of the black lines. Let's see what I'm doing now. This is probably going to be very bad for the camera, but you just have to trust me. In between is kind of black as well. That's a bump. Yeah, just headbutt at the camera again. And only once it gets to the top, it sort of becomes lighter. But I do feel like these lines should be more defined. I should probably do even more with the sepia and kind of dark sepia, sorry. Kind of looking like something. Normal sepia. We are going, well, we're getting somewhere. Going somewhere? No, getting somewhere. Yes. And then we had that. Oh, this is just a weird transition now. So now we have that little bit of purple in there, which I'm going to want to save, sort of. I feel like that cocoa is going to do that. And it just did. Yes. Alright, so we still have that. Yeah, we can make it. Probably not. I'm probably giving myself editing nightmares right now, but I kind of set out to finish this. So here I am. Might just give myself the opportunity to sort of glue two parts together. Alright, so in case that video does turn out to be too long to do in one go, because it's more about everything like I'm saving, like you kind of cut things out and then you get too many separate pieces. Or I don't know how it works, but all I know is that sometimes it doesn't work. So I need to find a way around it, and maybe I just did. Just give myself an out. Now, so this should go dark around that, which makes no sense, but there does seem to be some darker lines near that shine. Well, okay. We'll just put them in. And I feel like that cocoa is really rescuing me here. It is a lovely color though. It's really creating a nice kind of vibe. Well, I feel like over here I should probably add something else. A blue kind of... gonna go for the cold gray with 2, 3, 5. I'm just gonna see it. That's why I don't like those numbers. I just name them all the same. It's the 6, I think. I don't see the use of naming them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just give them different names. It'll make it easier for me to find it. I somehow get so confused. What? Random tap. That just happens every now and then. I'm mostly doing this because I feel like I was going to brown on that brick wall. I mean, over there it kind of was, but I should find a blue to put in there. Do I still have bluish gray lying around? I have bluish gray lying around. Because I feel like I should just put that in. It needs blue. Yes. So now into the cocoa. Again, let's just see if that makes a difference. Shouldn't I have some dark over here? I should. More of it anyways. Black. Go to black. And the reason I'm going for black is because I feel like this might actually be one of the darkest parts of the page. Right now that line I can't work with. It's just I feel like this makes sense. Now I like some lines going up without making any sense. And over here is still kind of bright. Unbrightened it. And I do feel like it looks nice. It doesn't look off much from what we did there. So that's good. I mean, again, it doesn't really matter that it's not an exact match to the reference. I keep saying that and then I keep being annoyed by the fact that it's not an exact match. But, I mean, once the color is off, that's good, but just stick with it. Don't make any sudden changes, because then it will look weird. And if for some reason your wall now has a green kind of glow or whatever, just stick to it, because it's better to have like one even looking wall than to start fiddling with it like halfway, because then it's going to look like a mistake. If you just kind of commit to it, you just say like, oh, it went to green or to blue or to whatever. And if you start to correct it, then it's gonna look like you tried to correct the wall. Or at least this is how it works for me, so I'm just throwing this in there as sort of a tip. So usually if I just leave it and just go with the flow, like, alright, the colors went bad, I'm gonna just stick with it now. Just pretend like I planned it. then it usually kind of turns out okay, because it's still one thing. It's balanced. Alright, so here I really need to put in that purple. Really gonna go purple. So this is the 100, I think, the purple violet, yes. So you make a mistake, that's one thing, but you gotta. The reason that you're kind of bummed about it is because you cannot fix it. I mean, this is now very purple. I can grab an eraser, but I can only make it worse. I can't make it better. I can only make it worse. So if I just go with it, then there's no problem. If I start fiddling with it, it's gonna show. Because I think my wall is not an exact match with what's over there. I mean, I'm pretty sure I can't even get it that way. Can we? Sorta? Yeah, well, this sorta makes it. So mine is more to the brown kind of side, but it's okay. I mean, the whole thing is. So it looks as if it's one wall. And that's kind of what you're going for. Salmon pink. Did I use that for anything? This is the salmon. And this is the salmon pink. I feel like I need to put that in here. Even though I used, I think, Phoenician Pompeian red. Which one was it? You there. Must have been Venetian. This one. I'll just blobbly blob that in there. Again. Over that. But yeah, it's better to just have it be one than, otherwise it's just gonna stand out like a sore thumb. Nobody likes a sore thumb. So, just balance it. And if you do want to go back to the original color, try to do that evenly. Like, make it flow into the original colors, I guess. But don't just suddenly do that. Then it's going to look kind of weird. And I think that's the thing that people are mostly struggling with. Like, you kind of go wrong and you kind of want to fix it right away. But if you can't, you should maybe don't fix it right away, but gradually fade into the right color. If that is making any sense. I mean, it's okay if it's not the exact same. So long as, it's your page anyways, so as long as it is yours, then I don't see the problem. I mean, I'm a perfectionist, but I have learned that there's no way I'm copying that reference. There just isn't. I mean, that background, I already did that way different, but I'm okay with that. I noticed that I was kind of going into the wrong colors, and I was, well, I'm already doing it now. Might as well just stick with it. Oh, so I feel like I have that base sort of okay. For some reason I want to make that stand out, so I'm just going to make that little bloppy thing in beige, because this is the beige, which is a lot lighter. Whoa, something wasn't colored there. Alright, I'm just going to see what I can sort of adjust here and there. I feel like I could go with that beige over here as well. So you can just see how much color you can still add. It's ridiculous. I have that sepia, so I'll also kind of add that here and there. Because over there I definitely used that sepia as my lighter color. So I kind of want to, again, create that unity. Considering this is kind of like one of those moments where I don't really have to think about what I'm doing. Guess I should take the time to remind people to click the like button and don't forget to subscribe. This thing it seems like it's coming to an end. It really does. I'm also open to suggestions on what to color next. Could be this book, and if it's a different book, count on me not having it. Because, well, that's just the problem. I don't have everything. And I'm not a collector. So, I don't know, maybe think themes. And I could try to find a page in my coloring books that is also available as a freebie. That way, if I do find something to color based on suggestions, everyone can just color along. Especially at the beginning, would be nice if you could just color along, and further along that might change, but of course I'll just add a link in the description then where you can find the page. But so, I mean, it could be the next page in this book, although I think my next color along is not going to be in this, because again, it's like silly warm in this room, and summer is coming up. So that means I won't want to be sitting here for hours, which I'm definitely doing with this. I am here for hours and hours and hours. We are 2 decades in on this. I mean, it's fun, and the result I like, but I do feel like doing something a bit quicker after this. But still, you could suggest or request a next page from this book, because clearly I have this book. And maybe I agree, maybe I disagree, maybe a lot of people ask for a certain page. Again, I'm a Winnie the Pooh fan, and maybe Beauty and the Beast, because they have some nice pages in there as well. I'm gonna go for black to sort of camouflage the lines. So yeah, definitely use that comment section if you kind of wanna do another Disney page, or if you want to start one and don't know how to start. I mean, I think we did the most complicated one. Maybe this is it. Not sure. I feel like this is definitely not the easiest one in the book. But if you have one that you're looking forward to and you maybe want to do a color along with me, put it in the comments, and maybe I'll just read it and be like, oh, that's a good idea, actually. You never know. I mean, the one thing I have noticed is that, keeping up with YouTube is just kind of easier if you do what you want. But you can assume that I like most of the pictures in this book, or pages in this book. Otherwise, I would not have bought it. Alright, so I'm kind of leaving that center thing. I'm just leaving that be. I am also leaving the shimmers be. Because I feel like if I do those shimmers alongside those, that will probably give a bit of a better result. I don't know why, but that is kind of how I feel right now. There is a little bit of a shimmer in that, which I'm going to call ivory. So that's just, because it's not white. I mean, it probably is, but I feel like that kind of looks okay too. No, I did get a bit done this time. I mean, does look okay, doesn't it? I mean, that top does look suspiciously pink. I feel like I should maybe tone it back to brown a little bit. I have this laying around, which is probably because it's actually in an extender. I kind of kept those out of the box. It's out of the box thinking, out of the tin. Right, Nate. No. I'm going for the nougat, which is also in one, which for the next part I'm probably going to have a longer one. Because I feel like this is just way too pink right now. You see, just going over that very lightly. Just remove that light for a bit. Just going over it lightly. Just, it leaves a little bit of a stain, a nougat stain, which is good because it's just too pink. Which is okay because apparently stones are pink and purple. I feel like this is good. Now this now looks, should have been an indentation, I think. There's a little bit of scratchiness in there that I'm not liking. So I'm just going to get rid of that with the sepia. And I feel like this is actually kind of good. This is the cocoa because I feel like I should create something. I'm just sort of blopping cocoa on there expecting something. But I'm definitely leaving the shimmers alone for now. Because I feel like I should do them together with the other ones. Also, the timer is already disagreeing with me. So, I feel like I got pretty much everything done. Over there is kind of weird. So I'm going to get that beige because it's near the shimmers. So I feel weird going too light. But then that'll definitely be it for now. Although I keep saying that, and then I find something else that I can fix. I usually see in editing though, like, oh, I can still do that. Like, I feel like I can do something with that, but I want to do the rest first. Because I want to see how that part looks once I have dopey colored. Let's just see if we can I change the light in a way that'll... No. I'm just gonna have to... Yeah. I mean, I guess it looks kind of weird because of that. But that turned out great. That, even though I didn't do the lines, I feel like I'm not too bothered by it. So yeah, I feel like that wall thing turned out okay. Yeah, I did say that maybe I was gonna head into the green with the roses, but I feel like this is good. So I mean, logically, next time we're just gonna continue into that. And the tools, maybe they don't seem to be off in color all that much. So this took forever, and then this is gonna take the same amount of forever. So yeah, this is gonna be a 100 part color along. It's ridiculous. But I am liking the results so far. And it does definitely... Let me see if I can just get both on the screen again. Yeah, well, this will do. I'll just get up and see if my chair agrees. Yeah, I mean, it's taking a while, but if you're seeing what I'm seeing, then this was worth my time. This is, by the way, also the moment in editing where I'm kind of double checking. But yeah, this looks good. So I'm predicting next time we're gonna do, whoa, that's a wire. Next time I'll be doing this part. I'm pretty confident in saying that I will, because then I can get those shimmers and I'll put those in straight after. So yeah, I think for now that'll definitely be it. So keep them like that. Yeah, I'm really happy with that. All of a sudden it came from weird blobs like that, and indeed, once again, it turned into what it should be. So, if you like the video, do click that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Turn on your notifications if you have any questions or ideas for maybe upcoming color and chats, color alongs, or just comments, whatever, just drop them below in the comment section. Be gentle. So for now, I hope to see you back for part 26. I thank you very much for watching, and have a good one.